What if the land down under is hiding secrets that could flip everything you know about it? Australia's got it all: stunning beaches, wild creatures, and a culture that swings between quirky and controversial. But beyond the postcards of kangaroos and the Sydney Opera House, there's a side to this country that'll make your jaw drop. From environmental scandals to bizarre traditions and whispers of secret military bases, we're peeling back the curtain on 13 shocking truths that prove Australia's more than meets the eye. Picture yourself standing on a polluted beach, hearing the eerie call of a dingo, or stumbling into a debate that's tearing communities apart. These aren't just facts. They're stories that'll stick with you long after this video ends. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's dive into the first shocking truth that'll change how you see Australia's coastline forever. Australia's got over 10,000 beaches, enough to visit a new one every day for 27 years. Sounds like paradise, right? Golden sands, turquoise waves, and surfers riding the sunrise. Bondi Beach alone draws millions, its vibe screaming carefree summers. But here's the kicker: those pristine shores are hiding a filthy secret. In 2023, scientists found microplastics choking Bondi's waves, tiny bits of trash from sunscreen bottles to fishing nets. Locals were stunned. How could their iconic beach be a dumping ground? By 2024, the issue exploded into a full-blown scandal. Environmentalists pointed fingers at tourism, saying the flood of visitors was trashing the coast. Hotels and cruise lines fought back, claiming they're not the only culprits. The stakes are high. If pollution keeps climbing, Australia's beaches could lose their sparkle for good. Imagine digging your toes into sand that feels gritty with plastic, or swimming in waters that shimmer with debris. It's not just Bondi. Beaches from Byron Bay to the Whitsundays are sounding alarms. Cleanup efforts are underway, but the battle's far from won. And what's worse? Some say the government's dragging its feet, prioritizing tourist dollars over the environment. But that wasn't the whole story. Head to Brisbane for a tradition that'll make you squirm. Ever bet on a cockroach sprinting across a table? In Brisbane, it's a thing. Every Australia Day, thousands pack the Storybridge Hotel for the World Cockroach Racing Championships, a quirky tradition since 1982. Picture it: tiny roaches, named like racehorses, darting down a track while spectators cheer and sip beers. It's peak Aussie humor, with categories like the pest control stakes adding to the fun. But in 2024, this lighthearted event hit a wall. Animal rights groups stormed social media, calling the races cruel and unethical. They argued roaches were stressed, mishandled, and sometimes crushed in the chaos. Organizers fired back, insisting it's harmless fun and the insects are well cared for. The debate split the city: tradition versus modern ethics. Posts on X showed protesters picketing, while locals defended their beloved event, saying it's no worse than horse racing. The stakes are climbing. Will this oddball tradition survive? Or will 2025 see it canceled? It's a bizarre clash that's got everyone talking. And what happened next would shock everyone. Because the ground beneath Australia holds an even bigger surprise. Australia's the only continent with no active volcanoes. Pretty safe, huh? No fiery eruptions or ash clouds here. Instead, the landscape's carved by ancient, extinct volcanoes, like the Atherton Tablelands in Queensland, where lush fields hide lava scars from millions of years ago. The Great Dividing Range, stretching 3,500 kilometers, tells a story of tectonic shifts and erosion, not molten explosions. But in 2025, geologists dropped a bombshell. Some dormant volcanoes might not be as dead as we thought. Whispers of seismic activity in Queensland sparked wild speculation. Could Australia face a volcanic surprise? Scientists are split. Some call it a long shot, pointing to decades of calm, while others say subtle tremors hint at something brewing. The stakes are huge. Even minor activity could disrupt farming and tourism. Picture rolling hills hiding a restless earth, ready to rewrite Australia's safe reputation. Social media's buzzing with theories, from natural shifts to sci-fi conspiracies about government cover-ups. No one's sure what's true, but it's got Aussies looking at their land differently. And that's not all. Let's talk numbers that'll make your head spin. 3 sheep for every person. Australia's got 75 million of them, outnumbering its 25 million humans. That's a lot of woolly neighbors. The sheep industry's a powerhouse, pumping out world-class merino wool and tender lambs since the 1800s. But in 2023, a dark cloud hit. Animal welfare groups exposed mulesing, a practice where skin is cut from sheep to prevent infections, calling it brutal. Graphic videos flooded X, showing distressed animals, and global brands like Patagonia started boycotting Australian wool. Farmers argued it's necessary to protect livestock, but the backlash grew. By 2024, the fight escalated, with activists demanding bans and farmers facing profit losses. Picture vast fields where bleeding sheep hide a grim reality, their woolly coats masking a heated debate. The stakes are massive. Australia's economy leans on wool, but consumer outrage could force change. Some farmers are switching to humane methods, but progress is slow. It's a tug-of-war between tradition and ethics, and the world's watching. From fields to cities, here's a cultural shock you didn't see coming. Why does Melbourne feel more Greek than Athens? It's got the largest Greek population outside Greece, a vibrant community that's been thriving since the 1850s gold rush. Walk down Lonsdale Street, and you're hit with the aroma of souvlaki, the beat of traditional music, and festivals like the Lonsdale Street Greek Festival drawing thousands. But in 2024, ex-post revealed a growing tension. Younger Greek Australians are torn between assimilating and preserving their heritage. Some say the community's losing its roots, with festivals facing funding cuts and fewer kids speaking Greek. Others argue Melbourne's Greek vibe is stronger than ever, blending old traditions with Aussie life. The stakes are high, cultural identities on the line. Picture a bustling street where gyros sizzle, but debates simmer over what it means to be Greek in Australia. Community leaders are pushing for more cultural programs, but budget constraints loom. It's a story of pride and struggle, and it's unfolding right now. But that's not the wildest thing an Aussie's done. Wait till you hear about this next stunt. What if you could buy a whole country online? Back in 2006, an Australian man tried just that, listing New Zealand on eBay as a joke. He called it the land of the long white cloud, hyping its fjords and friendly locals. Bids hit $3,000 before eBay shut it down, citing rules against selling countries. It was peak Aussie cheek, but in 2023, the story resurfaced amid trade spats between the two nations. Ex-posts lit up with memes about the rivalry, with some Aussies joking they'd bid again if they could. The prank highlighted a deeper tension, economic disputes over agriculture and tourism. Picture scrolling eBay and seeing New Zealand's mountains up for grabs, only to realize it's a playful jab in a bigger feud. The stakes are real. Trade deals affect billions. The listing's long gone, but the laughs and debates linger, showing Australia's knack for stirring the pot. That was just for laughs. Now let's hit the slopes for a shock that'll chill you. Australia's got more snow than Switzerland. Bet that floored you. The Australian Alps, spanning New South Wales and Victoria, pile up more powder than the Swiss Alps, drawing skiers to resorts like Thredbo and Perisher. It's a winter wonderland where you can shred slopes by day and sip hot cocoa by night. But in 2025, climate reports dropped a gut punch. Warming temperatures are shrinking snow seasons. Environmentalists warn the Alps could lose half their snow by 2050, threatening resorts and local economies. Skiers and operators are pushing back, investing in snowmaking machines. But the math isn't pretty. Picture pristine slopes melting into muddy trails, with tourists rethinking their trips. The stakes are huge. Billions in revenue are at risk. Ex-posts show skiers mourning their favorite runs, while others argue adaptation is possible. It's a race against time, blending thrill with dread. From snowy peaks to deadly creatures, Australia's got another surprise up its sleeve. Cute koalas and hopping kangaroos? Sure. But Australia's wildlife can also end you. With 80% of its species found nowhere else, the country's a zoo of wonders and dangers. Think venomous box jellyfish, deadly inland taipan snakes, and the sneaky blue-ringed octopus. But in 2024, the spotlight turned to koalas, declared endangered in parts of the country. Habitat loss from deforestation sparked protests, with conservationists chaining themselves to bulldozers while developers argued for urban growth. Picture a koala clinging to a eucalyptus tree as chainsaws roar nearby, or a dingo's eerie howl echoing through the outback. The stakes are life or death, species are vanishing fast. Ex-posts buzz with calls for action, but solutions are tricky in a land where progress and nature clash. It's a wild story of survival, and it's not over yet. Nature's not the only thing breaking ground. Let's talk about a world-changing move. Australia changed the world for women, but is it still leading? In 1902, it became the second country after New Zealand to grant women the vote, a bold step driven by activists like Vita Goldstein. It was a global milestone, paving the way for equality. But in 2025, critics on X and beyond point to a harsh truth. Women hold only 30% of parliamentary seats, lagging behind other nations. Activists say the fight's far from over, with wage gaps and leadership roles still skewed. Picture suffragettes marching in 1902, their banners high, only to see modern women still battling for a fair shot. The stakes are huge. Equality's legacy is at risk. Some argue Australia's resting on its laurels, while others push for new reforms. It's a story of triumph tangled with frustration, and it's sparking heated debates. From rights to risks, Australia's got a surprising obsession next. Australians bet more than anyone else. Sounds like a party until you see the cost. With 80% of adults gambling, from horse racing to pokies, it's a national pastime. The Melbourne Cup alone stops the nation. But in 2024, reports exposed a grim side. Gambling addictions tearing lives apart. Over 20% of the world's poker machines are down under, and stories of families losing homes to slot machines flooded the news. The government's cracking down with new limits on betting ads, but casinos and bookies are fighting back, claiming its personal freedom. Picture a packed casino, neon lights flashing as players chase wins that slip away. The stakes are massive, social costs top billions annually. X posts show Aussies split. Some love the thrill, others beg for help. It's a high-stakes battle between fun and ruin. Money's one thing, but why does Australia's capital even exist? A city built because Sydney and Melbourne wouldn't stop bickering. That's Canberra's origin story. In 1908, the two cities were deadlocked over who'd be the capital, so Australia carved out a new one. Designed by Walter Burley Griffin, Canberra's got grand lakes and geometric streets, home to the Parliament House and cultural gems. But in 2023, urban planners called it out. The city's spread-out design isolates residents, making it feel sterile. Locals on X complain it lacks soul, while others defend its calm vibe. The stakes are rising. Modernization could reshape Canberra, but at what cost to its heritage? Picture quiet streets lined with monuments, hiding a debate about what a capital should be. Some push for high-rises, others want its green spaces preserved. It's a clash of vision and history. From city planning to epic barriers, Australia's got a structure like no other. A fence longer than some countries. What's it hiding? Australia's dingo fence, stretching 5,614 kilometers across deserts and farmlands, was built in the 1880s to keep dingoes from livestock. It's a marvel, slicing through Queensland, New South Wales, and South Australia. But in 2024, environmentalists raised alarms. The fence blocks native wildlife like emus and kangaroos, disrupting migration. Farmers argue it's vital for their livelihood, while conservationists say it's an ecological disaster. Picture a rusty wire barrier under a scorching sun, with dingoes prowling one side and desperate animals trapped on the other. The stakes are huge: agriculture versus biodiversity. X posts show heated debates, with some calling for high-tech solutions like virtual fences. Maintaining this beast is no joke, costing millions yearly. It's a testament to Australia's grit, but at what cost? From fences to vineyards, here's a tasty shock to end on. Australia's wine is world famous. 1.35 trillion bottles from 60 regions like Barossa Valley and Margaret River. Sip a bold Shiraz and you're tasting centuries of craft. But in 2025, a scandal soured the industry. Workers in vineyards alleged exploitation, low wages, long hours, and unsafe conditions. Whistleblowers shared stories of migrants toiling under brutal heat, sparking boycotts from ethical consumers. Winemakers claim they're addressing it, but unions say change is too slow. Picture rolling hills of vines hiding sweat-soaked laborers, their hands stained with grapes and frustration. The stakes are high. Australia's wine reputation could tank. X posts show wine lovers torn. Keep sipping or take a stand. Some vineyards are going sustainable using organic methods, but the fight's just starting. It's a bitter twist to a delicious legacy, and that's not all. Here's what ties Australia's shocks together. From polluted beaches to racing roaches, vanishing snow to deadly wildlife, Australia's a land of jaw-dropping contrasts. Its 10,000 beaches are a paradise under threat, while quirky traditions like cockroach races face modern pushback. No volcanoes sound safe, but whispers of seismic shifts keep scientists guessing. Sheep outnumber humans, yet their wool hides a cruel debate. Melbourne's Greek heart beats strong, but identity struggles simmer. A cheeky eBay stunt and snowy Alps defy expectations, while koalas fight for survival and women's rights hit new hurdles. Gambling's thrill masks ruin, Canberra's calm hides urban debates, and the dingo fence divides more than land. Even the wine you sip comes with a bitter aftertaste of exploitation. What's next for this wild continent? Will it save its beaches, its wildlife, its traditions, or lose them to controversy? Australia's a place where beauty and conflict collide, leaving you to wonder, what else is hiding down under? Drop your own Aussie discoveries in the comments. Have you stumbled across a shocking fact we missed? Hit subscribe for more stories that'll leave you speechless, and let's keep exploring the world's wildest corners together.